Shut up, Meg.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Blah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to... Oh, let me just go ahead and push play on that. Might as well. For Twitch. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Tonight, we are having one of Fama's specially approved MREs. He was very excited and can't wait for me to try the Italian sausage with peppers and onions and stuff. So, sure he'll be able to let us know how that's going to go. And as a reminder, next week was supposed to be the pepperoni pizza, but come to find out they actually gave us an extra hamburger patty instead of the pepperoni pizza, which... So, in 2 weeks we'll be doing that again, but, you know, we'll still be doing our thing. So, canned ravioli. No, I don't know that's going to be canned ravioli. Probably better than that. Anyway. Got some of the early crew in here. There's Mr. S. Maurice Walker, David Garcia, Fama is here, Josh Homan, Clive C. See, said Mr. Lock Watcher, Pancake Man. What's up? Is it Pancake Night? Oh, it is Pancake Night. Look at that. It is. Very good. Chris, what's going on? And Frank Netabetty. There we go. I'll mail you a pepper. Don't mail me an MRE pepperoni pizza. I can just go to the local shop, go to the local bakery, pull some dough out of the dumpster, and that's pretty much it. What's up, boink? So, I guess we'll start with the Verta Therma Woofle, and then we'll get the dinner, because I am hungry. Hungry. Alright. Is it working? It looks like it's working. Alright. Oh no. Hold on. Let me see if I got more butane. We just ran out. Hey, backup can. Okay. This might get messy. All right, let me just go back to here. All right, now we're on the mini one. Okay, let's go back. Lighter. See if this is engaged. Yay. All right. Number one. One for Freddie. Set Chad on fire. And that's a little flicky tonight, huh? Don't worry, I got like 9 or 10 of those big ones left over in the kitchen, under the cabinet, because that just seemed to make sense at the time. But hey, while we're getting warmed up here, quick toast to everybody for stopping by. Appreciate you hanging out and spending your evening with me as we chow down. So, shall we get started? Move that. That's good. I got water over there. Hit the button. Good. Bring this over here. Sit, boo boo, sit. Good microphone. All right. Let's see. Pick that up a little bit so I'm not bonking into it. As I usually say, whether you peel it open or cut it open, make sure you leave it open. You can either leave the handle like that or rip it off, whatever you want to do. Save that for water and trash collection, and same thing if it has an inner bag, you can use one for one thing and one for the other. I just use the big outer bag for trash. Alright. About 55 minutes until my meatloaf is finished. Excellent, boink. What do we got here? We have a smeared label. Let's see if the old guy... Wow, that is bad. Italian sausage with peppers and onions in marinara sauce. Okay, there's our main. What do we got here? Cranberries. Nice. Cracker-ass crackers. Peanuts. Anything else that needs to get warmed up? Nope. Alright, so let's get this going. And we'll see what else we got. Spooky boobs. Boo! Weird crinkle. I don't get hung up on the thingy. Yes, that's a technical term. Industry standard. Yada yada. Right. This, if you don't know, is an FRH. Flameless ration heater. Uses a chemical reaction to make it hot, just like, little hand warmers. Add water. I have found most success in adding it to the full line. And sometimes just a little over seems to work best in my experiences. No pasta or bread for a sandwich. Yeah, I was expecting like some kind of bread thing other than crackers. Ooh. This one's getting a little warm, huh? Alright. I'll just leave that do its thing. Leave that on the tool thing. The water out the way. Let's see what else we got here. We got the water. Wow. Sorry. Microphone just said nope and just keep falling over. Come on now. Calm down. Alright. What do we got here? Cheese spread. Okay. Dry roasted peanuts, our usual pack. That actually has some coffee in it. I'll save that. We never bother opening it. All that's in it, if you're new, is sugar, fake sugar. That's toilet paper, apparently. Some chiclets, packet of salt, and this one has coffee. They either come with coffee or matches. It's one or the other, never both, which is weird. Anyway. Alright, let's, when we have that, do we have a drink? No drink in this one? That's weird. That's the first one I've seen without a drink in it. I mean, coffee, but that's usually not your primary drink. That's usually your backup. Well, cheers. We're drinking water on this one, folks. Huh. That's odd. I thought they always came with like a room temperature, like a whatever fucking drink. I allow myself one slice of bread every other day. You know, there's damn carbs. Yeah. Can't say I do the same, but my diet seems to be working for me. Well, I mean, like I'm on a diet. There. The spoon, which we just put over there. Trail mix with beef jerky. Chris is getting glasses, had a vision test today, and you have an astigmatism. So you failed your test. Maybe you should study harder next time. I have astigmatism in both eyes. Which is interesting when you get into the firearms hobby, because scope, a lot of some scope, most scopes are pretty good, but like some sights, like red dot sights, if you have an astigmatism, like it just screws up the whole deal. It like smears it. So that's one thing I gotta get used to. Some of these nuts, I mean, I don't have to get used to these nuts, I'm saying the astigmatism. And crackers and cheese. Nice. Except for that little guy, it came out pretty clean. Well, I guess we'll look at the cheese. I'll use one cracker for the food and one cracker for the cheese. Let's see how this is going. It's working on it. Give it a little fresh air in here. And it's hot. I'm just making sure it's, yeah, actually it's getting hotter now. All right, good. Put that back, so we don't need our drink glass. Stick the cheese in the general area so it can warm up a little bit. And let's try some cranberries. Zombie! Oops. Seafood, eat food. That's usually a good diet to have. Your right eye is worse. I think my left eye is worse. I am right eye dominant, though. These are pretty good. I'm used to cranberries having a little more flavor to them, as in like the dried kind like this, but they're not bad. Just not very cranberry-y. Sweet cream pancakes, scrambled eggs, potato sausage hash, nice, and a few pumpkin pancakes with cinnamon chips. Sounds be alright, except for maybe that pumpkin thing, but not a big fan of anything pumpkin flavored personally. Hopefully getting a bunch of salt all over me. If I'm gonna get messy, I'm gonna get messy on the main. So we're just gonna cheat. Yeah, chew these up a lot. Chris says the difference for me was like going from 1080 to 4K. So not as big a difference. But definitely excited to get back. Yeah. I need to get glasses. I'm having just general, like I hit the old guy thing, but I'm not getting bifocals yet. Like, I shouldn't need those yet. I just need to get these lenses tuned up. All right. Beef jerky and almonds. Is that a thing somewhere? Is this normal? This tastes more like cranberries than the cranberries do. Is this like... No, this is a trail mix. That's what it is. This is a trail mix with beef jerky. Okay. That's weird. I don't know if I've ever seen trail mix with jerky in it, but alright. The cranberries in this are a little better than those. Oh, the engine. Yeah. Update on the engine from last night. Figured out what it was. Like, here's the one that came built. The long tube in there. How it's got that long piston. The outer edge of the piston on the glass is flared out. Just a hair. So, like, it'll slide real nice and smooth until it goes in, and then... And that's where all the resistance is. So, I'm going to attempt to polish it down. I'll just polish it together. It's all the same damn thing. And no hydration drinks. That's just fucking weird. So, this is fucking great. Contacted Amazon. Said, hey, you know, I'd like to exchange this or just get the replacement parts if we can like contact the seller or whatever. Well, apparently the seller's already out. They were like a fly-by-night or whatever seller. And I was like, yeah, but I see another one on there with the same name. They're like, yeah, we don't actually know if that's the same store or not. But like, if you go to my order page, it just says not available. Like, it's that seller has been kicked off of Amazon. So they said, we can't like replace it, but we'll give you a refund. And I went, you know what? I'm going to hold on to it. Because if other ones come with extra tubes, then we may have an extra tube to put in there and get it to work right. So, at least that one wasn't my fault. That's just the channel curse rearing its ugly head. So hopefully the other ones we got coming aren't broken, or, well, and maybe have an extra cylinder that'll work. If the other one hadn't broken, as soon as I pretty much touched it, we would have a backup, but we do not. Yeah, I am going to try and polish that flange off. I already actually started. I have really, really, really fine files to try and take the glass down a little bit on the end. So, I will occasionally pick it up, slowly polish it down, and go from there. But that was the resistance. It was in the bottom tube. Everything else is butter smooth at this point. All right. I guess this is going to be like our cheesy bread or something. Even though I'm just going to eat it a little bit, a bunch of it now, just to, I'll just use the crack. I'd rather just have the cracker with the food anyway, because the cheese is okay, but it's not great. You know what I mean? What's up, Spudley? Are you having breakfast? Or did you have breakfast? Well, the cylinder has dry PTFE in it. But if the glass is flanged, I mean, you can't, it's already trying to overcome that with that's what the gray stuff on there. That was PTFE, graphite, something like that. Probably PTFE. But with that being flared, it's always going to be fighting that resistance, even if there's lubricant. And this is definitely just cheese whiz cheese. Oh. Well, at least it didn't fall. Didn't really stick to me. That's cheese whiz cheese, then. Well, what you gonna have there, Spudley? Always interested to know how similar or different breakfasts are in different parts of the planet. Bury your fingers and on the floor, absolutely. The same but upside down. Well, yeah, there is that. All right, there's a lot of that. I think we are avocado on toast. All right. Sometimes I'm good with avocado. Sometimes not. Like, I know it's good for you. But that's good. That's a good breakfast. Ow. Yeah, that's warm. Just run some paracord from the couch to the fridge. I did a mail order eye exam, popped them out, send them in the prepaid mailer. Eyeballs come back clean and ready for installation. Well, hell, it's a convenient service. That's what we got in there. Where's Fama? This is like the money shot for Fama. Or perhaps he's simply sitting there in stunned silence. Sauce looks really good. I kind of feel like they found whoever makes this tomato sauce. Let me see if it's similar to the other sauces we've had. Yeah. I kind of feel like whoever figured out this recipe for tomato sauce, they just went, you know what, this is so good, let's just find as many things as we can use with tomato sauce. And that is fine with me, because this is good. Ooh. What's that? That's pretty good. The Italian sauces is definitely not up to Fama's standards, but it is definitely really good for an MRE, and it's fair to middling for, like, processed. Well, I'm sorry, like homemade food. It's pretty similar to something you'd probably get out of like a big frozen Stouffer meal kind of thing. Like a big family can get like the big family things of stuff. That's pretty close to what I feel like that tastes like I came from. But it's good. And like I said, as far as MREs, this is like fucking gourmet. So. Just that little bit of salt, because there's actually a little bit of salt on here, is making it fucking light right up. Yeah, I'd eat this whenever I needed to. What they should have included was the damn pizza. That would have been perfect piece of bread to dip in this. Since that's, all it is anyway. Okay, now this just explodified. Let's do that. Yeah, where's the pizza at? That would be the perfect dipping bread. First time I got my eyeballs back, I installed them in the wrong socket. Kept driving on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, you gotta watch that. The labels aren't always really clear. And once you get them polished so many times, the serial numbers start to wear down. And you can't even go by that anymore. I had contacts for a while. But, just kind of got annoying. And I think it got really expensive. I think my eyes got to that point. They crossed that threshold of affordable to unaffordable as far as contacts go. If I'm remembering correctly. At this point, I'm good with just glasses. I don't really care. I can put my finger in my eye. Pretty much at any point. It don't really matter to me. I think I've done it on... It's been quite a while, but I know I've done it on stream before. Just push on your eyeball. Remember to save a little bit. And of course it broke. At least we got one scoop out of it. Huh. Luckily, the eyeball company sends an eye chart. If the letters are backwards, you've installed them wrong. Not a bad touch. Chris, I can touch the white of my eyeball, but not the iris, and certainly not the pupil. Yeah, I can just poke around in there. It's whatever. I thought it would be really weird. But then once I started wearing contacts, I was like, this really isn't that big a deal. And then I just started doing it to do it. Just to gross people out, because, I'm 48. I'm still... I was told I was the 10-year-old amongst 9-year-olds at work. I took that as a compliment. This is weird altogether with that beef in there. I'm not a huge fan of almonds, but they're alright. Yeah, peanuts and beef jerky. And like all this is all super chewy stuff, so it takes forever to chew up as well. Definitely an interesting mix, though. Well, that's good. Like, I make Italian sausage probably every month or two. Yeah, this isn't as good as that, but again, it's pretty close to what you get out of a freezer section, and it's still good. And for an MRE, it's great. As it sucked when I got a piece of steel in my eye. It'll be fine. So when I finally went in, they had to use a Dremel to get rid of the rust spot. Ugh. That's not great. I had a piece of asbestos stuck in my eye. There's a picture somewhere. I don't even know if it exists. It might still exist somewhere. Of me with one of them little eye cup things. Like, it was a contact, not even an eye cup. It was a contact lens with a hose on it. And the hose plugged directly into a fucking IV. And I sat there for an hour as it just poured out underneath the lens and flushed everything out of my eyeball. I was doing a construction job and they didn't bother telling us that all the insulation on there was really old and full of fucking asbestos. And we're carving at it and just beating at it with hammers to get it off of the I-beams. And we're used to working with stuff that looks just like asbestos, but it's not asbestos. So I got some of it in my eyeball, and that was fun. But the Georgia State University in Atlanta ended up paying for it after they heard what happened. They're like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, well, here's the bill. I'm like, oh, here we go. They issued me a check, which I immediately cashed, and it was good. But yeah, I think that was the holy shit, we don't want a lawsuit, and me going, yeah, I don't feel like dealing with one either. Just pay for my bill. Didn't affect my eyesight. Gave me a day off. So, yeah, it worked out. Cheers, everybody. Pretty good. I'm going to snack on that later. Like, I was hungry, but I'm pretty full now. That red sauce did it up pretty good. Could have tried an MRI machine. Just would hope I was facing the right way. Yeah, if you're facing the wrong way, that could be a little interesting. Yeah, when I had to go get an MRI, they had to do an X-ray. I just realized I'm way leaning into that microphone. Sorry. When I had my MRI done, yeah, they had to do an X-ray. They're like, "Do you work with any metal tools?" I'm like, "Any? I work with all the metal tools." What's that? What's hydrate? Have you worked with a grinder recently? 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, yeah, we gotta get you X-rayed first. Okay. Cheers, everybody. Let's hydrate. Take a drink of something nearby. Now I'm just picking out the beef jerky. That's pretty good on its own. It's just weird with the other stuff. I'll finish the rest of it later. This is a little more, tougher. Ooh, that was a good piece. No, that was cranberry. Anyway. Drexel. Well, Drexel. You mean Drexel the pimp? Yeah, he probably isn't very compatible with eyeballs because he hits people with bats. But anyway, you sit there, please don't sneeze. Oh, yeah. Yeah, MRA was one of the most painful things I've ever had to deal with because my neck is so fucked up that when they put that head restrainer on, it tried to shift everything for my skull back into alignment with my shoulders, and like it was so bad I was like coming in and out of consciousness with the fucking pain. Sitting there for about 45 goddamn minutes. That was ridiculous. That's probably why I haven't continued to try and fix anything, because I know they'll probably have to do that again. And now that I'm not 285 pounds, they'll put me in a normal MRI, which will mean I'm even more cooped up and forced to be straightened out. So, yeah, we'll get to that one of these years, I guess. Or not. Not that there's really anything they can do, but whatever. The doctor's office used a hypodermic needle, could feel the tick and hear as they touched it. What are they touching with the needle? Oh, the piece of metal. Oh, yeah, okay. That's not great, yeah. Mr. S, let's see. Oh, wait a minute, Maurice. Yeah, you can really get used to contacts. Says Maurice Walker. The first time one accidentally moved so far up that it vanished was kind of scary, but you learn to get it out. Now I'm just meh when that happens. Yeah, that had happened to me once. It took me, like, I didn't panic. I was like, I know there's a way to fucking deal with this. And I eventually got it down. Wasn't that big. Wasn't that big a deal. Mr. S, I also had a piece of steel in my eye. The doctor immediately grabbed his Dremel, but first tried it with a kind of sticky Q-tip, and luckily that worked. The hell is he grabbing a Dremel for? And I could see the needle thing. What, are you just going to cut your eye out and call it a day? That seems kind of cheating. Frank says, Mr. S did the same thing, but got it out with a Q-tip myself. Also refused to have an MRA for my back since I had a flake of metal stuck in my eye that's now since been dissolved. Ooh, yeah, that's no good. Yeah, I have no idea how much metal might be in me at this point from shit breaking, grinders. Whatever. C2S says mine was a portable MRA. It was like a 10-pound sausage in a 5-pound. Oh, I was like a 10-pound sausage in a 5-pound case. Yeah, I was in an oversized one. They didn't like. I was like, I'm not that big, but it turns out I was lucky they put me in an oversized one, just so I had just the tiniest little bit of movement with my legs to help try and release some of the tension on my back. You'd have to be there for me to explain to you how that works. See, the mail-in eyeballs company, says Locke, tests and removes extra metal from all orders. Oh, that's good. That's good of them. That's useful. Frank Netabetty, I've had battery acid splashed in my eyes twice. Yeah, me too. Well, once. Flushed it out for 15 minutes, and I can still see. So, Mr. S, the body can dissolve iron over time. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it just turns to rust, and it just slowly flakes out and just feels weird in your eye for a while, but it can take a little while. David Garcia, MRI. I had been in something like that on my birthday. No fun, 25 minutes long. They were looking for cancer. Thank God they didn't come back. They didn't find anything. That's good. That's annoying, but at least you passed that test. Unlike other people on the channel who failed their test recently. Speaking of which, Chris, I once had a piece of rock fly into my eye. My dad could easily remove it. I think I was like 8. The weirdest... makes my eye itch. Ugh. The weirdest thing I had, fucking fluke thing. So, like, trees, branches, as branches get smaller, they just get thinner and thinner until they're like, you get your average twig that's like about the thickness of like a USB cable. And depending on the time of year, it may or may not have leaves. Well, this was about in the fall. I was, let's see, if we were living there, I was probably 13 or 14, walking along a fence in the woods, not paying attention, just walking, chilling with my buddies. I turned my head forward, and one of those little sticky twiggy things went into my head, like next to my eyeball, into the socket, and then broke off. So I was sitting there with like 2 inches of stick sticking out of my eye socket. You want to talk about a controlled panic? And eventually I went, I looked that way just to keep my pupil away, and just went and pulled it back out after probably 20, 30 seconds of trying to figure out what to do. Luckily, it wasn't like sharp ended or anything. It was like roundy, like whatever tree it was. That it had like little tiny nubs instead of like spiky, branchy stuff. But yeah, it was the fucking weirdest one. Especially when I heard it go, and my eye just went, and I was like, and I could just see it like sticking there, and all my friends freaked out, and oh my god, that was fucking weird. God, it just makes my eye itch. Oh. Yeah, that sucked. But at least it didn't affect my vision. Whew, your 5-second rule. Yeah, sort of. Whew. Frank says, just my luck, both the times the battery case was cracked, and when I picked it up, it sprayed out of the crack into my eyeball. No, I use battery picking up tool. Yeah, I got the leather strap clampy bit thing. And I got one of those ones that's got the little 90-degree thing. It's kind of cut out, and the loop thing on top to put right on terminals, and that's whatever. What's up, Zen? I got an airsoft BB lodged under my eyelid once. That's no good either. Locke asks, I've ever walked through a cornfield and get sliced and diced by the corn leaves. I have about 100 paper cuts. I never heard that corn is sharp. That's That's a new one. Okay. Now, I never gotten an airsoft or a BB stuck in me once, but I did it to somebody else once. But, you know, it's what you do when you're dumb, young ass, stupid kid with a 10 pump Crossman or 10 pump Crossman BB/pellet pistol. Honestly, I didn't feel a thing other than the weird feeling of having your eyelid not touching my eyeball. Yeah. It's kind of like when my tooth broke, like everything felt something feels weird over there because it wasn't pushing against a tooth anymore. It was pushing into a hole. My friend had a BB in his chest from his brother. That's fun. At least I put it in the leg. The corn thing is bad. And yes, the sweat cut in on fire. Makes it like sting more, I guess, like the salt getting in there, salt sweat, I guess. That kind of makes sense. The sweat doesn't necessarily, like salty stuff generally doesn't help with wounds. But I think we're going to go ahead and start to wind this down. I was going to do that live stream today, but then I had some issues I had to deal with. But that's all sorted and solved and good to go. So the plan is tomorrow I have to work at McCormick's. And if you watched some of my videos, forklift videos, you remember I got that one with the big round cylinder thing that makes the forks go side to side. I got to do another one of them tomorrow at McCormick's. That's an all-day job. So I'm going to get up early, go do that, try to get home by 11 or 12. And then at like 1, I'm kind of hoping about 1 o'clock, do a surrounded live stream with a fresh start on level 4 difficulty, whatever that is, stock. That's what I started over my character in the single player, well, on my playthrough. And I'm doing pretty good on that hard mode. So, that is the plan. Go to sleep actually pretty soon after eating this. Good luck. I am kind of tired. Anyway. Go to sleep, get up early, do a surrounded thing from like 1 to like 4 or 5 tomorrow-ish, because I got something to do at 6. But that is the plan. Hopefully nothing fucked up or dumb as fuck will happen again, and we can make that happen. So, until then, I'll either see you tomorrow for that, or I'll see most of you Saturday for... Oh, hold on, my titty itches. I'll see most of you Saturday for the stream, of which I will try to come up with some themes or something. Like, I'd like to try and go back to how we kinda-ish did themes or general topics for the chat. But I don't know, we just been kind of doing our thing. But anyway, we'll figure it out. So I'll see some of you hopefully tomorrow, and I'll see you on Saturday. Again, thanks for spending your evening with me, having dinner, and I will talk to everybody later. So, be groovy to each other, and I am out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2.